Well, we found out, Iris and I, that we came here really originally to have a look at my brother's records. So I'd been onto the website and contacted Leslie, and he said that they still had my brother's record cards here from when he joined in, when was it he joined? It's
1940.
1940. So I just wanted to come down and have a look and take a photocopy because he now lives in Australia. And I thought it'd be a nice surprise to show him, you know, his record cards. And also, apparently he went to camp with the club, I think somewhere around 1950. And Leslie says he has some pictures that we might be able to recognise him from. But the other thing that we found out is also that we have two uncles who also went to the club as well, which we didn't realise. One of our uncles, Abram Matthews, was actually killed in the First World War, and he's on the Senate.
And John was, he came to this club.
Yeah.
And it had only been open 2 years.
It'd only been open 2 years. Yeah. So they were.
That's a long time.
That's a long time ago. Yeah. Abram was born in 1899, and John was born in 1891. So Abram was actually the eldest, and we always thought it was the other way around. We were always led to believe John was the older brother, but it seems that Abram...
He is though, isn't he?
No, he's not. No. John was born in 1891,
that's right, yeah.
and Abram was born in 1899, and Abram was in fact killed on the last day of the war by a sniper in France. We've got some nice photographs of him at home, actually. And also, my brother, who now lives in Australia, went over to France to see Abram's war grave, and never knowing that he'd actually attended the club together. He's never known that. I mean, we didn't know that. But both our mums were born in Huddart Street, at 28 Huddart Street. And there was 9 children born there. There was 9 children, 6 girls and 3 boys.
It's not a big house.
And my mum was the youngest of them all. She was the youngest girl. So she spent quite a lot of time at home because at some point during her life, which she never knew, my mother had polio. So she had a bit of a, I wouldn't really say it was a club foot, would you? She could walk on it. But
yeah,
it's like a little ball.
Built up, you know, it's built up.
But it wasn't until she was in her 50s that she was told at hospital that she had in fact had polio, and she never knew. Her mother never knew.
With, you know,
she just thought she'd been born with a disfigurement. You know, what do you? I don't know whether you,
short leg or something like that.
And
you know, but
she went to the hospital. She used to go regularly to the hospital, obviously for treatment and different irons on her leg and have her shoes built up. And she said she wanted to always have this corrected, didn't she, really, to maybe if she could have an operation that she could have a normal foot. And they said, well, you do know you were not born like this, Doris, do you? That you actually have contracted poliomyelitis, then she called it poliomyelitis. Yeah. And she never knew that. She always thought she was born like that, and she wasn't.
Because so did she go into hospital or anything? Was never diagnosed?
Well, this is what she asked her older sisters. She asked the eldest sisters, do you ever remember me going into hospital? And they had no recall that she ever went into hospital.
So they had that many children, you know, they didn't, they got mislaid, didn't they? You know,
they got them mixed
really
up.
know, you know.
Mislaid like that.
Well, they did because...
they didn't take notice of it. They had that many, there was so many to see to, that they didn't notice anything like this.
My mum died 12 years ago. She was the youngest one. And she'd always celebrated her birthday on the 11th of January. We always had. And it wasn't until...
And my mother was the 18th of January.
And my mother was 11th.
You'd have found out, didn't they? Didn't you, Bob?
When she died, by the death certificate.
It was 18th, the same.
They'd been born on the same
different
day.
ages, you know, they weren't twins or anything like that.
She'd always celebrated her birthday on the 11th of January, and she was actually born on the 18th of January. So somebody, her father had obviously registered her being born that day. Yeah. He probably forgot there was 6 girls and 3 boys. But she told me that I know she spent a lot of time at home as a child, and she does remember that she remembered vividly that they used to have a lady visitor who came about once every 2 weeks from the workhouse on Ecclesnea Road, and she used to wear a blue and white stripe, like a gown, a dress that they all had to wear. They all had to wear this blue and white, and obviously my grandmother must have met this lady somewhere, I don't know where, felt sorry for her and invited her for a cup of tea, and she came every 2 weeks for a cup of tea. And
you think they got something from the workhouse? They got clothes on?
They must have had this special blue and white stripe. She remembers
like uniform
that she wore. They had to wear this, So there was 9 children in that house, yes, in Huddart Street.
So where they slept, I don't know.
They all just topped and tailed, I think. She remembers Abram going off to war, and when he got killed, her mother, our grandmother, never recuperated from that, really.